Hi guys, welcome back to Origami Twist. My name's Jen, and in today's video we're going to be doing a divider for the Masu box. Now the Masu box and lid is a traditional origami model that I am assuming you already know how to do because I have another video teaching you how to make this. I'm going to put a link in the description box below so that you can go and make one of these, and a lid if you'd like to make a lid as well. And today we're going to focus on this divider that perfectly fits inside the box. Now, a couple things about the paper itself before we get started. This paper needs to be the exact same size as the paper you use to make the bottom of the box. So the box that the divider is going into is exactly the same size origami paper as its divider. And last thing before we get started, you are going to be breaking this into thirds, and I do have a video breaking down how to divide a paper into thirds into great detail. I'll put that in the description box below as well. I'm going to give you a quick shortcut in this video because the marks that are already folded onto the page will allow you to just easily make thirds, but I also have a video on that in case you need it. All right, let's get started. Divider for our box. So first things first, the color of the divider, and a lot of origami paper is two-sided. The color for the divider is going to be facing up. So if you want it to be, in this case, white, that would be facing up. I'm going to do it with yellow facing up. And we're going to fold an X into the paper. So one corner over to the opposite corner crease, and the same on the other side. So there's one nice sharp crease and two. Like so. We're going to turn the paper over. So the color that is not going to be the color of the divider is going to be facing up now. And one edge is going to come up to the opposite edge and crease. I like to call this the book fold because it kind of looks like a book. And we're going to be folding a plus sign into the paper, so we're going to fold the other side as well. And you probably recognize this as the beginning of the water bomb base. So you've done this before if you have done any origami, simple origami. Okay, now's the point where we actually need to fold the paper into thirds. And we actually have enough guide marks with that X and the plus sign in order to figure that out without a ruler. And as I said, more details on that link in the description, but I'm going to give you enough information to be able to do this without clicking away. All right, so what we're going to focus on is this crease right here and this horizontal crease. So ignore the other creases. We're looking at this one going from the upper left to the bottom right and from left to right. And we're going to use this crease, the edge of the paper, where the crease intersects with the edge of the paper, as one mark. We're going to use the bottom left-hand corner of the paper as the second mark, and we're going to be finding an intersection. When you crease this point and this point, we're going to find an intersection along this line, and that will give us our thirds. So we're going to do that by folding the corner up and folding just on that crease here, just pinch it and come down to the bottom left and pinch it, and then making sure that those stay in position and pressing down to create a crease all the way along. Now you can also, as you probably can tell, you could also just pinch right where it intersects with there, because all you need is a guide mark. It's up to you. It's not going to affect the final product much either way. Okay, so I'm going to make a mark here so that you can see the creases. Where those two lines or those two creases intersect, that is the point where you're 1/3 of the way up the paper. So in order to fold the paper in thirds, you're going to fold at that point and then line up these edges here so they're perfectly straight, and that will give you 3 marks, you probably know from geometry, in order to create a line segment, you need more than 1 point. So here's 1 point, and then the 2 straight edges, because it's a square, give you the other 2 points to create a nice straight line. And there's your first thirds marker. We're going to turn it around, and this next part is super easy, which is nice because that was a bit challenging. We're going to take this edge and line it up with that new thirds rule, because as you know from fractions, there are 3 thirds in one whole, and which makes this 1/3. That means this is 2/3, and it can be broken up once again to create 3 thirds. So 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, like so. Once again, going from the upper left to the bottom right and horizontally across the page to create another set of thirds. This time, rather than going this way, they now go this way. So we're going to, once again, fold at that intersection, give it a little crease so it doesn't go over. And down in the corner, same thing, breaking that in right at the corner. And if you hold on to both ends and press down and across, you will get another intersecting line. This time, once again, the first line is that diagonal, and the second line is the one created between those 2 points that we just created. And there's your X. And of course, folding up to that intersection, making sure it's nice straight lines, and using the edges as your second and third points for a nice straight line, and turn it around and one line into that mark we just, or that crease we just made. Without going over, you want it to go just up to, but not going over. There you go. So as you can see, we've broken it into thirds this way and into thirds that way without using a ruler. Okay, the next part from now on is actually fairly straightforward, and it makes what we just did totally worth it. So we need to fold the corners in, and we're going to be using those new thirds that we've just created as the guide mark. So the corner is going to come into the intersection of the 2 vertical lines that we've just made. So here and here, without going over. And if you need it to be really accurate, line up that center crease with itself to make a nice straight line. There you go. And we're going to do that 3 more times, once for each corner. Exactly the same thing using the guide marks. There you go. Next things next, we're going to take this line segment that has been created all the way around, or this edge all the way around, bring it into its 1/3 mark up here, just like so, and crease. Turn and do the same thing on all 4 sides. Yet another reason why I like origami. It's so nice. Okay, so next thing, if you have folded, if you listen to every detail and turn the paper over when I asked you to when making the X and the plus sign at the very beginning, these creases that you've already created should be in exactly the right place to create a water bomb base. And you do that by pressing the 2 sides together. So you should have vertical and horizontal valley folds at this point, and diagonal mountain folds. If you don't, make sure to fold them into that position before trying to do this. It will be very frustrating otherwise. And we're going to press in the sides so that they collapse together. If you've done any of my other videos, you know you've seen this before and have probably practiced it a whole bunch. If not, feel free to go on a binge and try out a whole bunch of others. This is a more challenging version. And as we pushed it together, it's then going to collapse down on itself to create a water bomb base with lots more layers. Okay, next you're going to take that top edge and fold it down where that crease was. It shouldn't be too difficult, because remember when you folded this up to meet there, it was already on a crease. So that crease has been created already. And here comes the fun part and a point where it made it all worth it. So this is all folded down, and keeping in mind it's the whole thing is folded down. We're going to turn the whole model so that the bottom is relatively open, just like that. And if you hold it the way I'm holding it here, where you've got two flaps on either side, and you press away from each other, you could even hold it onto the two triangles here. You press away from each other, it creates two more sections, and you can kind of see where this is going. So once again, the bottom of that section has come pushed away, and you may need to create a good crease there. It already exists, but it needs to be, you know, more crisp. And there you go. Once you crisp up all of those creases, you have the dividers for your Masu box. And again, if you've used the same size paper that you used for the bottom of your box, it should perfectly slide into place. An amazing little box. The bigger the paper, the bigger the box. You could use these for little organizers in your desk drawer or what have you, with all of your new organization in the new year. I hope you enjoyed that project, and I hope you make a whole bunch of Masu boxes with dividers. Makes a perfect chocolate box as well. And enjoy. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please check out my other videos. Again, the extra videos are in the link below, or in the description box below. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your holidays. Hopefully you're still on vacation through New Year's, and have a good day. We'll see you again in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.